Okay, this is a tour of my edible native plant museum in the backyard. Most of these plants are edible, and this first one, but I'll show you all the native plants that I have, and there's probably others that I haven't even identified. But this is Jerusalem artichoke, and this one you harvest in the wintertime. It has tubers, which is a type of root, and it ends up being like a potato or radish. I'm going to bring it into class. It grows really dense. You can see all the stalks right there. And this is sort of a shady section, not atypical of where you would find Jerusalem artichokes. It has alternating leaves, and it's really hard to identify. Well, it's sort of hard to identify in the wild. Then we go over here. This is sassafras. This smells so good. This is fun to identify because you just peel off, and yeah, it smells so good. And this is the most easily identified. It has a mitten-shaped leaf. The smell, obviously, you can make tea out of this, and it's really good for your stomach. Don't do any of this without consulting a book first. And then it has some mitten-shaped leaves, like this one right here, you can see. And then there's a third-shaped leaf, too, which is probably just this, actually, I don't know. But sassafras, and I've got a huge prime sassafras right here. They're all over the place now. They're easy to identify. Down here is milkweed. This is really good for monarch butterflies. Mine haven't been coming to seed yet, but they've just taken, and I have about 12 plants. And I forgot what you can use milkweed for. I think the stalks might be used. I'm not sure. Here's another sassafras. Oh, and then we go in, and what do we have here? We have, oh, what is it called? I can't remember what this is called. It's called mandrake. And this one is toxic, but I have more of them, and they have white flowers underneath in the spring, and you can eat the white flower. I like the name mandrake, and it also has another one that I can't remember, but I will in a second, and that is wild ginger. And it has these like enormous heart-shaped leaves. I always get them confused, and it's a dark green color. And this one does have, I think, a ginger flavor, but it actually is not ginger. That's my only specimen of that. Then we go out, and here we have a native raspberry bush, which is actually taking off quite well. It's much bigger than it used to be, so I'm happy with that, and it's flowering, which is a sign that it's healthy. And you can see the beginnings of some raspberries in some way or another, I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be doing real well. And then this is a male winterberry. Winterberry is fun because it needs the male and the female plant, but the male plant doesn't flower, so it's relegated to this awful spot on the edge of the lawn. Then this guy is my newest acquisition. This is a hemlock tree, and I can't remember what it's good for. And here we have some Indian corn, which looks good right now, but in about a week it's going to be all eaten by the birds. I didn't plant it the way the Indians do with the Three Sisters crops, Native Americans, and but it's doing pretty well. I planted it wicked late. And then these are a type of native bean. I planted them late too, but they're really taking off. These flowers are edible, and I bought these at Plymouth Plantation, which is pretty awesome because they specialize in strains of seeds. Yeah, see, this one's tipped over. For some reason, all my Indian corn tips over that way. The rest of those plants are tomatoes. Oh, then we've got this guy here, which is dog bane, and I guess somehow dogs used to eat it, and they couldn't digest it, and it would kill them. And this guy is huge, and I'm going to trim it way back because the Indians would make rope out of this. You just like thresh it and break it apart, and inside the fibers make a great rope. So I'm going to be cutting this way back, and I probably even have enough for rope this year. Then this debacle